You presume much. The Force does not guide your movements, not anymore. Its connection was lost when you fell. Perhaps you feel that the Force also led you to the Mandalorian Wars as well, but in truth it only led to your exile. Why? Because you turned your back on us, and the Order. You followed Revan to war against the Mandalorians, the very war that made Revan a Lord of the Sith, and ruined you. The Republic asked the Jedi Order for aid against the Mandalorians, that much is true. Yet that aid did not mean rushing into battle, giving in to aggression, your hate, your passions. You sought adventure, you hungered for battle, you could not wait to follow Revan to war. The Jedi Order asked only for time to examine the Mandalorian threat. They urged caution, patience, and you defied them. So when you returned, you were brought before us. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled. There was much about that day that was difficult to forget. Your words, your defiance, and when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I had kept, so I would never forget. I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I have kept it, so I would never forget your arrogance or your insult to the Order. Become a Jedi again? That is a thing far out of reach. But I am not unsympathetic to your feelings. Leaving the Order must have been difficult for you. Yet you gave the Council no other choice. You gave me no other choice. So your choice was to meet the aggression of the Mandalorians with more aggression. That is not the Jedi way. Every choice we make, whether we know it or not, sends echoes through the Force. It can awaken feelings, ignite passions, hate, anger, fear, where none existed before. By meeting aggression, by serving as an opponent against which the Mandalorians could test themselves, you fed their hate, their lust for war, and it sent a terrible echo through you. And because of it, you and those Jedi who met them on the battlefield lost their way, and you turned on us. Of course I was. But the Jedi teachings require we examine how we may best help them. Action without reflection is not our way. There was no guarantee that marching to war would have saved the Outer Rim. In fact, quite the opposite. A physical victory perhaps, but the real victory lay in... You do not know... The Mandalorian Wars should have been your grave, and Malachor 5 is where you should have died. What? What do you mean? You're wrong, just as you were when you defied the Council. I tire of fighting with you. You lust for war, and you always will, and you have succeeded in distracting me from my questions. So answer me. If you cannot seem to admit the Council was correct, then why are you here? Then I shall send you on your way. It is now time for you to depart.
We shall remove him, mistress. Come with us. Are you all right, mistress?
The exile brought up feelings best left forgotten.
Forgive me, mistress, but I must ask. The exile, I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Did you care for him once?
The Jedi have no such attachment. As always, he will do as he wills. And the galaxy, and the feelings of others, can burn for all he cares. The day we judged him, I stood in the chamber, and he was so right. He was so certain of it, I doubted myself. He chose Revan over the Jedi, over the Council, over... But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.
Why have you approached me? You will find them in the main irrigation channel room, in the northern part of the plateau interior. The particle emitters there that once governed the flow of water to Telos can double as force cages. They were caged for their safety, until we could determine your intent, exile. Atris cautioned us against your tactics, fearing that your allies would create a distraction. Your companions gave us little trouble, however. The male could have presented some challenge if he had resisted, but he chose not to. We have some training in dealing with Jedi. You would have posed little threat. He has had some Echani training. He masks it well, but when you are in danger, his mask dropped into a stance we know well. I do not know. The Echani forms are known to be taught to military special forces throughout the galaxy. If the source is a mystery to you, perhaps you should ask him. It would be wise to know those you travel with. Your ship is stored in the hangar. Atris has given you permission to leave this place, and permission to return if you remain in her service. You may ask, the mistress? What of her? She is meditating, and she does not wish to be disturbed. Your presence here has troubled her, and I hope you do not choose to trouble her further. She leads us. As she rebuilds Telos, she rebuilds the Order, and through them, the galaxy. We serve the Jedi. We do not question them. Yet, Atris has told us that the work here at Telos may pay for similar efforts in many worlds along the Rim that were destroyed when the Jedi turned on each other. She has said the Jedi Order needs such a foundation if it is to rebuild. She faults the teaching of many of the Jedi Masters as the spark of the Jedi Civil War. Atris has said that if Revan and Malak had been properly instructed in the ways of the Jedi, they never would have fallen, and nor would you, Exile. That is unknown to me. I have never observed Atris to teach Jedi, nor would I wish to. Atris has chosen instead to focus her efforts on galactic recovery. Once the galaxy breathes again, disciples will come. She predicted you would say as much. She seems to know you quite well. Perhaps you are the one who knows nothing. You may ask. We serve the Jedi, and we watch. I assume you meant no insult. It is forbidden for us to become Jedi, even if we possessed the awareness of the galaxy that the Jedi possess. We are here because we are not Jedi. That is our purpose. We have taken an oath to never follow the teachings of the Jedi, only to watch those of the Order and carry out Atris's will should it be necessary. Atris believes the new Jedi Order that shall arise here will need to be guarded and watched by those not touched by the Force. She thinks it will give balance. The Jedi have long since lacked anyone to judge their actions and provide support should their power corrupt them. We are this strength. The Jedi Civil War proved that the Jedi are in need of such guidance. It is our duty to watch for aggression, rage, passion, and end it before it takes root. It is not harsh. It is necessary. A crude way of describing our duty, but in a sense, yes. I would have struck you down as you entered this place if Atris had not stayed my hand. Though you are not a Jedi, you have been sickened in Revan's service. If for a moment I felt you could bring harm to Atris or this place, then I would end you. Atris is trusted. She has watched Jedi rise and fall and knows the ways of both paths to see the signs when they begin. She is a worthy one to judge the Jedi when the Jedi refuse to judge their own. And therein lies her strength. We have known Atris many years, and she has shown much wisdom. Atris is the only Jedi here, this is true, but the Mistress will bring others in time. You are no Jedi. Atris has made that clear. When you went to war, you gave up the mantle of the Jedi and became something else. You may ask. This was once a mighty irrigation center for Telos. It survived the orbital bombardment of the Sith, though the inhabitants did not. Ancient irrigation channels still lie beneath the surface of Telos, waiting to be used again for the reconstruction efforts controlled from this facility. Shortly before the destruction of Dantooine by the forces of the traitor Jedi Malak, Atris had many Jedi artifacts and knowledge transported here secretly.